Alright, it is July 13th. Got this swarm 10 days ago. Hey, I waited a little too long, but I did an OA treatment on this yesterday. There was one mite before I did it. Not a lot of bees, so I would hope that there's not a lot of mites. 17 mites. That is a lot for the number of bees that are in here. Not sure if that's why they absconded or what, but these bees in here did not look the healthiest. They looked a little shiny. Don't know if that was old or if they happen to have some sort of disease. But there is honey in here still that has not been taken down. Ants are starting to take it. I'm not going to use smoke. The middle one had some drawn comb because it was just a queen frame. It has a nicot system on it. The frames next to them were getting drawn. I don't think they're on these outside ones yet. No. Small hive beetles are pressed. I don't see any. I do see, starting to draw the frame out wide. Not a fan of that. Side's not drawn out. They're starting it though. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, open larvae, so nothing capped yet here, so may have hit that OA at the perfect time. I did mark her pink. Yeah, open larvae, nectar, pollen, and honey. So I'll keep building that out. This is really only about a frame of bees, so not sure if it'll do much. I can always actually shake some other bees in here, but we shall see. I'm starting to build this out a little wide, which is going to make that foundation comb not build out quite right. Oh, we do have some cat brood, and there's our queen right there. I took most of the pink off, right? I didn't let them dry quick enough, but that's okay. A little bit capped, so hopefully we didn't get mites moving into that, but a little bit of capped on here. Nectar and pollen. Oh, I do see a small hive beetle over here. See if I can flick that off real quick. Well, I don't know if it's going to be the end of the world if it stays on there. We're going to have to figure out how to manage that. Yeah, the queen's in here. They're doing fine. Drawing that comb over here. And they still have sugar syrup. Not sure why they're not taking it. And this frame had just a little piece on it last time. We'll see how much they've drawn out. It's not too bad. Pretty small swarm, so that's all open larvae, nectar, pollen. So not capped yet. All the OA should knock down the mites in that hive pretty well. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Handful of them there. Those lined up. Still pretty warm out here. Hopefully I can get out in the morning. I really like to pull some boxes out of here. Let it go. I need to go down here. This is our Nuke 22 swarm that we found up in the tree over there. It's only about a frame. Been feeding them. Haven't fed them since last week. There's still a little bit of sugar water in there, but there's ants in it. So if I can catch her again on some good comb, I may go ahead and try to mark her again because she kind of wiped off the other stuff. Hey, not bad. They're working it. We have cat brood, nectar, pollen. I don't see any eggs or anything in there though. I guess I would have expected some eggs. I see our queen. So I see nectar and I see honey. I don't see young larvae or anything. The queen is right here. Nectar, cat brood. They probably have enough stores. Starting to work this side a little bit. A little bit going on here. Just I don't see eggs or young larvae. Oh, I do see some eggs and young larvae. Okay, I see some. I've got nectar and bee bread, so should be fine. July 28th. Check the small hive. Swarm nuke.
How do you hold this?
I typically just hold it right here. This can be really hot. That's what that little guard's for. Yeah. Yep. And then if you need to, you can just squeeze it, and that'll give us the smoke. So let's come over here, and I'll show you where to put it. No idea what we're gonna find. Haven't checked this in 2 weeks.
Usually, there's gonna be a bunch of maggots, a little bit of maggots.
Think so?
No maggots.
I hope not. I hope that there's. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna smoke the front, but I saw one fly in, so hopefully they're still okay. And just a little tiny bit goes a long way, and that just calms them down. You okay? Everything's still good? So, and I left a spacer on this one.
What does it feel like when you get stung?
It kind of feels like somebody pricks you with a warm needle, but then it kind of goes away after a little while, and then it's kind of itchy like a mosquito right after that. But
you don't want to itch it.
You gonna smell it?
No, thank you. I won't be out here for long, but this is really hot.
Yeah. It shouldn't take long. I think there's only 3 frames that are built out. I'm not sure about the smell in here either, but there's no small hive beetles. I don't see any. And they seem to go into that upper entrance, so we'll start seeing a whole bunch of hovering right here because they don't know where the entrance is because we just took that piece out. So I bet you there's nothing on this frame or that frame because there's not much of a nectar flow and there's not a lot of bees in here. So
you might like at the smallest pounds or smallest doesn't like the smallest amount of bees.
Smallest number of bees and size. I mean, the next smallest one are these big towers. So actually, that's probably the next smallest one. Pretty big, huh?
Well, I mean, the smaller it is, the less honey we are going to produce.
Well, they don't need honey right now. Our biggest concern is getting them to the winter, and then through the winter. So that was the honey, right? Wet stuff's nectar. See how it's bubbling in there? That's not the best sign. There may not be enough bees in here to keep this from fermenting. It's interesting. I did see a small hive beetle there.
What happens if it ferments?
It gets stinky, and then the small hive beetles can take it over. Here's a small hive beetle right there. We don't like this, so we give them a little smush. We can get them. Yeah. because they can lay eggs in there and they can make it ferment and get yeasty, and then it makes the honey go bad. So I think what I'm
want to cap it before they get to it.
They need to dry it out and cap it. Now some people say that sometimes they blow bubbles in there to try to dry it out more, but I'm not sure about that.
Have you ever accidentally killed a bee doing this?
Yeah, unfortunately, it's kind of inevitable. There's so many bees, you may accidentally kill some. Now we gotta be concerned because this, see that right there? See there's that weird hole?
Why is this hive like this?
Well, this is supposed to be a queen thing, and this is all I had for them, and I wanted them to have a good start.
Wait, is there any? It's just empty.
It's open. Yep. Yeah. So that's actually all natural wax. There's no foundation in this one. So this area here with the hole must have had a pest in it because they chewed it off and then discarded it because that was complete before.
Looks like they're not really paying attention to over here.
And that's okay, as long as they consolidate their efforts. See, that almost looks like it's rough, like something to try to get in there and rob them out. See, there's a small hive beetle hiding right in there. So we got to make sure that the queen is still in here.
It looks like something is going to it right now.
Yeah.
How do these go over just like
The small hive beetles?
fight them? Yeah.
Well, they're beetles, so they have really hard shells, so they actually can't kill them. They can kind of corral them and stick them in a corner and propolize them so that they starve to death. Oh, there's our queen right there. So she's still in here. The little reddish, pinkish dot. And there's some more of this bubbly stuff. So there's larvae in there. There's just not enough bees. So I think I'm going to pull some bees out of this hive and put them in here. You don't have to be there for that. But so what I do to help them get rid of the small hive beetles, though. Let's see if I can show you.
Smush them?
Well, obviously, yeah, definitely smush them. But there's a screen in the bottom, and if any of them get corralled in the bottom, they fall in the oil and die. So, see those? Now, see that right there?
How did they die in the oil?
It kind of suffocates them. So they breathe through their little spiracles and stuff, and they can. So that right there is a larvae of either wax moth or a small hive beetle. And judging by how this was torn out, yeah, see how big that is? That was a wax moth. But they took care of it. That's why they had that big chunk of comb that was torn out. So, what that tells me is there's not enough bees in here to be able for them to keep growing.
Last thing to check.
That's empty. We're good.
Well, you never know. There's
Yeah.
a little bit of.
Yeah. So we put wax on it, and the company that we buy them from puts a wax on them,
Like I'm not really
so it grows.
paying attention to these.
No, and that's totally fine. They don't have to. What we do need in here is a lot more bees if we want this hive to make it through the winter. All right. Yeah. So this is not in the best shape. Wax moth larvae in there. Obviously, a lot of it was dead, and they've cleaned it out, which is a good sign. But there's just not enough bees in here, so we need to remedy that. And this is probably the hive. So this one's got 3 deeps plus 2 supers. This one's got 4 deep and 1 super. That one's got 3 deep and 2 super. So this is the biggest hive that we have as far as the nukes. And we can probably get enough in here to get them going. Actually, we could probably load this thing up, honestly. And then if anything swarms back, flies back to the other part, then they'll be fine. But that'll give them at least a fighting chance. All right, actually, I'm going to do something a little different here. I am going to take this off. Anything that's foundation, I'm going to pull out and put into one of these larger frames, or larger hives here. And then I'll probably load this one up with at least a frame that has some cap brood and then a whole bunch of bees so we can give them the boost they need. I think the other ones have some drawn out, so we'll leave those. I'm going to pull one more time though, and just, if there's any small hive beetles, I'm going to suck those guys up. There's just not much bee coverage here. Not the best. Help them out. Yeah, that whole area was wax moth damage, and they have cleaned it up, torn it down and cleaned it up, so at least they're trying their best. And this is torn, so it almost looks like it got robbed a little bit in the back here. Cat brood, nectar, open larvae. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Lots of cat brood, nectar, pollen. I think this is the frame we want in there. Just checking for our queen. Don't see her. There's not really any place for her to lay, so I don't know that there would be any queens in there. Okay. And I'm not going to put it directly in there. I'm making a ramp, shaking them off. We'll let them walk in the front door. Is that going to be enough? I hope. Maybe it could be, I don't know. There's some cat brood, it's just a lot that's open too. Oh, just a second. No, we'll just be nice. Yeah, it's a pretty good one right there. Yeah, it's mostly cat too, so it's gonna be a little easier to just go on. Wonder if I could just take one of these out. Here. Ooh, that's honey. Interesting. It's all honey. It's not what I expected. Especially because the other frame was brood. Solid freaking brood at that. Fly back, that's fine. If they crawl in, that's gonna keep them going. Oh man. So this is getting to be where we want it. We'll need to get this on. They will need some more, yeah, that's gonna have to. Should work the way we want it to. They're going to start loading in the front door. And I can always fill that up with some sugar water to help them fill out that. Fill out those, were there 2 frames in there? I think I only left 1 frame in there actually. 1 frame that was partly drawn, and then I guess the one with the queen frame, but they're working their way up and then in. That's what we needed. We need a population boost on that. A quick update there. Looks like quite a bit of those are working their way up and in. I think if there's any foragers, they'll work their way back over here. So we do need to get some feed on them just to help them build out the last little bit of comb. And as those other ones hatch out, we may have to pull one of these other frames off, other hive bodies off and swap, or just add another one.